Another Community Connect podcast. I'm here with Amanda. How are you getting on today, Amanda?
Yeah, really great. How about you, Richard, after a big weekend and a bit?
Was a big weekend, yeah. Friday, Saturday, Sunday of riding my bike. It's really interesting, actually. Today's podcast, we're going to review the Backroad 2026 bike ride that we've just done. And I really didn't do any, like, people sort of go, oh yeah, but you did. Like, didn't do any training for this. And I'm actually the sorest I think I've ever been after a bike trip or a bike ride. So I did coast, and then I think I did one run after coast, and then I've been pretty sick after that. I've kind of meandered through a few Zwift sessions with my FTP being pretty minimal, but just kind of getting it done. Felt good, felt okay on kind of Monday, and then my next ride was the Friday, and then we're doing 100 Ks plus 120 Ks plus 100-ish and something Ks, and yeah, I'm pretty cooked, actually, I'd have to say, as a result of today.
That's a pretty big 3 days on nothing. So what you're saying is I need to write you a plan next time. We'll jump on those Zwift sessions to keep you accountable while you keep everyone else accountable.
Yeah, there's probably a little bit of that as well, yeah. And that's something that Matt Sherwood talked about at the end, that actually there's more than like 1 week's worth of training is not good for me. I need to go and do a little bit more to make sure we actually enjoy these things. Otherwise, they do start to get a little bit hard.
I'm so glad that you were called out by Matt on that. But although I'm sure between all the hurt, there was some pretty big highlights.
Yeah, there was. I just need to before we go into highlights, I have to say that we actually had day 4 of speaking of Zwift, day 4 of our Backroad trip, because we obviously Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then obviously 6 a.m. Monday morning, we've got a regular Zwift session that we do. And there's obviously people that weren't on this trip, so kind of have to turn up for that. But big shout out to John Peebles, who got back and rode on Zwift on Monday morning, but also to Steve Gallagher, who rode on Monday morning, but he had to get all the way back to Auckland as well. So flew back to Auckland, and then he was still up on 6 a.m. Monday morning Zwifting. But I also have to say with Steve, and we're going to had a quick chat with him in this podcast as well, but like I did a little training, like do-it-yourself training plan for the Waka a couple of years ago. He's been Zwifting since. Never met him. He's been part of the Zwift banter. Felt like I kind of knew him, but he turned up to this trip. So how good is that? Just to kind of be involved in the community and kind of, coming down and having an adventure together.
I love that. I met one of my athletes for the first time in person who also came down for the trip. So it just goes to show that no matter where you are in New Zealand, you can still jump into these trips, and we'll do our best to put faces to names finally, which is great.
Exactly. Yeah. Could you just talk a little bit more? Because I know what you sound like, but what is it? You seem shorter than what I thought you were going to say.
Way shorter than I expected. Yeah.
Yeah. And we also had Ben Jordan, speaking of New Zealand, Ben Jordan come over from Sydney for the ride too. And he's a bit of a shout out to Ben. Ben did this ride. Today, I think his job is pretty much to sleep and do nothing. He flew up to Tekapo yesterday, and then tomorrow he starts the Volcanic Epic. So he's riding Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, maybe Sunday as well, on his mountain bike. So today's job for him was to make sure his mountain bike is fixed, please, because she was making some pretty creaky noises on the back end of Sunday after a bit of riding. So yeah, quite cool. Different people doing all sorts of different things for different reasons. Yeah,
so good.
Yep. Nice. Yeah. So yeah, like as you mentioned, some of those highlights. I have to say the weather was a highlight. The just bluebird days, a little bit chilly in the morning. So maybe that's something to work on for next year. Maybe less chilly in the morning.
Cannot argue with the weather you got.
No, exactly. Yes.
Pristine autumn weather,
amazing.
Blue skies, nice and warm. Like you guys nailed it in terms of timing.
My key issue was having to put like 3 loads of sunscreen on during the day, if that was going to be an issue. So that was very, very good. I think it's obviously one of the key things with this Backroad trip is to be able to explore and go to different places that I hadn't ridden before. So that's that whole adventure element. Where are we going today? So I'd heard people talk about the Sailors Cutting being a new route. Basically sort of one half of Lake Benmore to the other, there's a sort of gorgy piece. And I'd been through there in a boat before, but I actually didn't kind of put the 2 and 2 together. That was where the bike route went from Sailors Cutting to Benmore Dam. And it was just incredible. really like great gradients, really rideable, but it's very similar to kind of if you've ever ridden the Dunstan Trail down south. It's very similar to that. So absolutely stunning, and yeah, just the variety of different trails. One other cool bit, a few of us did a little side trip up to the Clay Cliffs, which was pretty cool as well. So going to see them, which is another piece that I've been down the Mackenzie country lots, but never actually been there because you're just either passing through or fishing or doing other stuff. So that was pretty cool to go and explore as well.
Kind of sounds like a bit of it was slightly cruisy. I also heard there was plenty of put the pedal down and go hard.
Well, you talked to Shiraz, and she was definitely in that sort of put the pedal down. It was cool. Like you could ride with anybody within the group, so you're able to kind of push the pace if you wanted, or just cruise along if you wanted. So everyone, I think, was doing different amounts of that the whole time. But yeah, at the end last day, Shiraz down the Hacker Pass, there was a group of about 9, and then that ended up to be a group of about 4. And then the group kind of were going to sit up, and then Shiraz said, "Oh, but I'm on a sort of Strava segment crown here. I can't do that. We've only got like 3.5 Ks to go." I was like, "Okay, Shiraz, let's go and try and do this." And so work together.
Crowns pop out from you guys.
Yeah, I think she had like 3 crowds. She did have a few. So I was like, okay, I'll ride with you, Shiraz. Shiraz wasn't very good to draft behind, I have to admit. So not very useful from that perspective. But yeah, she went and got the crown. But then the other funny thing at the end of it is that actually I got the men's version, the KOM as well. So, but then I was like, oh, maybe I won't cry about it because she might have actually done a faster time than I have. But luckily, we were both exactly the same time on that particular Strava segment. So she finished in front. I let her finish in front because it was hers. But then I must have started in front. Yeah. So so that went well as well.
Aaron going into the challenges for 2026. When we head to main meters, you'll be like, well, I got that 1 crown back in the Backroad.
Exactly. Crowns are few and far between these days. You're going to have to get more and more obscure to try and find them, don't you? So it was pretty fun to get an obscure one out in the backcountry down in the Mackenzie Basin to try and grab that crown. So hopefully no one sees that for quite some time. They'll be able to hold on to it.
I'm also going to ask you the question probably that everybody's wanting to know. Was there custard squares involved?
Yes, there was custard squares involved. Yes, there was 2 custard squares involved. Only 2, so apologies. But so there was a custard square purchase at the Twizel Bakery. So that was very, very good. And then your custard square's got to be eaten whilst out on the trail. I think that's part of the rule. So we're actually getting around to the Ohau lodge where we were staying. So we stopped at a picnic table and sat down and ate a custard square there. And then there was also another custard square purchased. Where was that one from? That was from a Marama that I put in my little bag. I actually also bought a bacon egg pie at the same time. So the bacon egg pie kept the custard square cool. Bacon egg pie was eaten, I think, for lunch. And then there was a section from Benmore Dam to Aviemore Dam, and my job was to, like, there was a couple, Mark and Mel, who left just in front of me. I was like, okay, I'll catch them up and then we'll ride with them. And then I got down off the Benmore Dam and round Lake Aviemore, and it was probably the only headwind of the trip. And then you had a great big long flat bit on the road that you had to do. And I was like, riding. I should be able to catch them up by now. Riding. Oh, clearly they're working together quite well. Riding. And I never caught them. I was like, what's going on here? But they'd turned off, like they'd actually gone to the toilet. So I'd passed them so early. So I was chasing nobody. So I got all the way to the Aviemore Dam. That's, I don't know how many Ks by myself. Was it 40, 30, 40, something like that, into the wind. And as I just need to pull the red ripcord of emergency, like I need this custard square to get me home. So had a custard square with a few tears, and then that made me get home to the Waitaki, into Kurow, Waitaki Hotel, which is pretty good as well.
Oh, well, if this custard squares might get me across the line for 2026. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll talk about this. There's treats involved.
Yeah, that's right. Well, it sounds like you're already bending. That's good. It's good. No, great. I think before we jump into the highlights of the crew that we talked to, I think the best thing was the people. It's just a good crew of good humans that are really supportive and keen to share an adventure, look after each other, but also push themselves as well. Big shout out to Nick, who did a good job of riding. Again, he did it solo into the wind on the same as I did on day 2, but he also didn't he got up early and rode early up to the Hakataramea Pass, which was like 60 k's sort of by himself, and actually got there like 30 seconds before Shiraz did. So Nick kind of chipped away and did super well, did the whole lot. So he's pretty awesome as well. So yeah, lots of great stories and lots of great achievements, and cool to be able to share it with a cool group of people.
Nice. Looking forward to hearing their stories.
Yeah, good stuff. Hey, thanks, Amanda. Great to catch up this morning. And yeah, well, push go on everybody's little videos, and we'll catch up with you soon.
Cheers.
Live for the CP Media team. I'm overlooking Lake Ohau. It's absolutely beautiful out there. Absolutely glassy lake. Fantastic day. We've been riding our bike all day. We've got 100 k's or so on the clock. We've ridden from Tekapo and we've finished in Ohau. We had lunch in Twizel. There was a cronut head along the way as well. And we're just going to go and do a bit of an interview about what's happened today, the vibe of the crew. Come this way, cameraman. And we've got the lads who are just sitting in the hot tub. How good is this? How are we doing, Ben? How was your day? You've come all the way over from Sydney specifically for this ride. Tell us about how you went.
I had a good day. Beautiful scenery, good people to ride with. Not a bad view behind me. No, it's been good.
And highlight of the day?
Oh, highlight of the day. I mean, I want to say the hot tub right now, but I should probably say cycling alongside the lake just before now. What was it called? Which one? I can't remember the name of it. Yeah, Bukaki. Yeah, it was beautiful.
Yeah. There was a few fish in there. Did you see some fish?
No, I was just focusing on the glorious single track that we were cycling along.
Yeah, no, that's right. That's very good, isn't it? And the temperature was a wee bit chilly this morning. How'd you find that?
It was all right, actually. We were just saying it was quite fresh, but like kept us cool. I'll probably say perfect temperature today for riding. Right. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
And what about your bakery stop? How'd you get on there?
Yeah, bakery stop was good. Egg and bacon slice. Went down the tree. Powered me for the next 50 k's.
How you feeling about tomorrow?
I'm really excited for tomorrow. Weather is going to be knockout. Bit more climbing. Quite excited to get up high. Yeah, looking forward to it.
Good stuff. I'll let you go. Looks like you're busy.
Yes.
So go and relax. I think your teammate can do that. Okay, I think we'll cut there. Greer here, reporting live from the Waitaki Hotel in Kurow. We've made it day 2 of the TeamCP Backroad bikepacking trip 2026. It's been a big one. It's been, I think I had 127 k's on the clock. We've done all sorts, but I'm going to sidle in here. We're going to have a chat to Matt. We've got a couple of Matts here actually. Matt, how you feeling?
Yeah, I'm good now. If I suddenly scream and yell, it's just my legs cramping, so don't stress about that.
Well, that'll be good. That's all part of the fun of it. So we've had a big day today. We started in Ohau. Let's summarise it. How did your day go? Tell us a little bit more about it.
For a big guy that doesn't like climbing, I really enjoyed that first climb.
And then a beautiful bit of downhill after that.
Oh, the descent was amazing, wasn't it?
Yep, very good.
Just really, really good.
Yep.
Probably a little bit too quick at times, but you know it's hard. It's hard not to just let loose.
Yeah, because it was smooth and it was fast and it was open and it was single track too, and just let's have it. How good! So yeah, so much fun coming down. Then we're off to sailors cutting around Benmore Dam. That was pretty exquisite bit of riding, wasn't it?
Yeah. It's the second time I've done it. Doesn't disappoint.
Yep.
Feel like we should just go back and do it again tomorrow. You know, it's just stunning, isn't it?
Really
you know?
is. Yep. So Benmore Dam, that's pretty amazing, isn't it? It's pretty cool to get there. Bit of a landmark. A nice downhill. Did you get to a top speed on the downhill?
I remember doing 70 something.
Oh my god.
70 something. I'd have to check.
Oh my goodness. Okay, we'll just give that 70. We come across the Aviemore Dam. I actually had a custard square there. It made a difference, I have to say, for the win. I got on the WhatsApp chat that there was custard squares being eaten here, and I was like, you've got to have your custard square out on the trail, so I thought I'd better do it there, and it actually helped me finish off well, and a nice wee bit of track to finish as well, wasn't it?
Yeah. Everything was really good except started feeling better again, and then that nasty little climb. Just before town where you passed us.
Yeah, which is where I caught you up, actually. Yeah. It was the whole piece from the Benmore Dam. I was chasing Mark and Mel. They left about 5 minutes before me. It's like, right, I'll catch them. I did not see them the whole time. They'd actually pulled off the track. So here I was, just given everything. I said, what's happening? They've obviously been very well. I'm turning myself inside out, averaging sort of a good 25 k's an hour into the wind and stuff. And they were behind me the whole time. And then I caught up with you. So I was like...
Nothing worse than chasing ghosts, is there, eh? yeah. And that last little climb was horrible. And then, but I think the call of the day was made by you.
Yes, yeah.
Absolutely. Coming past the dairy, ice cream. Yeah,
you were on that like in a hurry.
Threw the anchor out. Stop, and first didn't even wait, just straight in.
You didn't need any encouragement. Straight for the ice cream. And what was your flavours to finish the day up?
I had passion fruit to start with, just to get one of the
some fruit.
Yeah, get one of the 5 in for the day, and then some caramel, salted caramel.
It's good to see caramel fudge. And I went orange chip.
Yeah, it's a classic flavour, isn't it? It's a classic flavour. I looked at it and I just, that'll just take me back to being 12. So I was just like, I'll leave it for another day.
Which is what I was doing. No, well done, Matt. Great stuff. You've done well, and go and put your feet up.
Yep, thank you very much.
We are done and dusted the Backroad Bikepacking Trip 2026. Shiraz, you've been an absolute legend all weekend. You've been riding at the front. You've been making sure that everybody stays very, very honest. How are you feeling? You got it done.
Yeah, no, I'm absolutely fizzing. We couldn't have timed the weather better. The scenes, like the mountains, it's just incredible. Absolutely loved it.
Yeah, that's right. And even along this last bit from Dog Kennel Corner back to Tekapo, there's word of headwinds, and if there was going to be a headwind, that would be the headwind. But I felt like it was almost a tailwind. Like, we've just had it absolutely perfect, haven't we?
Yeah, no, you couldn't have asked for better weather. Coming back was a bit of a race, so it was nice to have that extra little tailwind, because we had a little bit of headwind coming down off the back of the mountain. So it was nice to come home.
That's right. And I mean, it's been a ride, it's been an adventure, there's been great banter, there's been social times, there's times to put some effort in, and as you say, there's been a time to sort of see how fast you can go next to others as well, which, as I say, does add a little bit more to that. Was there any sort of key bits that you're like, that was super, super cool?
All of it was just, every day was completely different. The first day, riding along the rivers, were, it was just incredible. But then going into the mountains yesterday, just a completely different scene. And then today was just like gravel. And to be honest, like coming down that descent today was probably like having Mount Cook, like the whole view the whole time was probably a highlight. Even though descending's not my strong suit, it was still awesome to have people around and support, to know that if I can ride with these guys, I'll have support, so I can push myself a little bit. But just having that background, so today was probably the highlight. Yeah,
good stuff. Because that's the thing, like you mentioned a day or two ago when we were riding together, that to come down and do this trip, like it was 100 k's a day or so, that you weren't 100% confident to sort of come down and do this yourself. So how have you found that support of what we've put on for the weekend?
Oh, it's been absolutely incredible having, just as the community around, knowing that there's cars, if anything goes wrong, ability to help fix bikes, punctures. There's a lot of knowledge in everyone here, and it's like, if I have a question about something, I feel safe that I can ask it. And like following like Aaron's line on some of the descents, like he was giving me some tips. And so it just felt like a really safe and really enjoyable place to just grow my skills.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. So will you be back?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, and I'm going to bring a friend. So yeah, no, 100%. It's just absolutely, I'm fizzing.
Good stuff. Well, you go and soak into that view. You go and enjoy that sandwich. You've done super well. Well done, Shiraz.
Thank you.
Pete, how are you getting on? Your job done. Mate, you've spent 3 days riding around the backcountry, around the Mackenzie country. You're back at Tekapo. How are you feeling?
Pretty happy to be back, to be fair. Knees are a little bit niggly, but epic weather and awesome organising. Well done, Richard.
Nice,
but yeah, no, it's epic trip, great weather, great group of people. Been awesome.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
We had a advanced paramedic on the trip. We had a doctor on the trip, and you were a chemist that was on the trip.
Yeah, there's a few drugs in the back of the bag there, and sort of looked at options to take. I'm like, I've probably taken too much of that already, and I better not take that other one. And somebody offered Tramadol. I'm like, that's going to be a happy ride back, and we better just chill a little bit and just slow down a bit at the end there and get home. So we got there in the end.
Yeah, good stuff. Slow down and get home. Is that usually what happens? There was a fair bit of heat going on. I know yesterday coming through with your 2x at the front and just giving it absolute beans. It's like, oh God, what's Pete up to?
Yeah, well, it depends if I can smell a bit of downhill. Then I'm riding it like I stole it. So it's only when I get to the uphill that I'm like, right, you guys go. Yeah, yeah, I'm the 2-stroke now. Yeah. But going downhill is definitely bring out the V8. Let's go.
Yeah,
so.
nice. What was your favourite downhill over the last 3 days? We've done a few different downhills.
Yeah, really enjoyed that one out of Ohau Lodge, out of the lake there. But even today from lunch, that was, left everybody behind for a while. I was like, right, get out of the way. Yep. Chased down a couple of motorbikes as well, and the guys came past, and they're like, you're dangerous. I'm like, yep, watch out. So they got out of the way pretty quick.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
You actually caught them up?
Yeah, passed him. Yeah, passed him again. He passed me at the start, thinking, I'll get in front of him. Yep. But then, I made a bit of dust for him as well.
I hope your wife's not watching. Hope the rest of the family, they don't need to know that stuff.
They know, mate. They know. So when you come from a background of mountain bikes and motorbikes, it's
so good.
That's the fun part for me anyway.
Yeah, good stuff.
And work for it on the way up.
Nice.
So.
Well, go and put your feet up. It's been super fun to hang out for the last few days, and well done in riding. And I think you can take tomorrow off if you like.
Yeah, no, thank you very much, Rich. It's been great. Good job. Thank you.
We're here back at Lake Tekapo. We were here a couple of days ago. It feels like a lot of life has happened since then.
There's been a few life moments, yes.
A few comments that have been sort of, very mixed. Tell us about your couple of days. Highlights?
Oh, it's just too many highlights. Just
lowlights then. Should we just start low?
There was a few of them too, but I mean, it's just so cool to get out in the back and just ride and just enjoy riding your bike. I think was the cool thing, It was a group of other people and just the groups mix around. And if you're not having such a good time, you kind of go to a bit of a slower group. And if you're feeling pretty good, you push forward. So yeah, just so much variety. And today was a bit of a slog, but that's. Apparently training's quite good for you, but apparently a week of training, a week off, and then this is not ideal. So I need to speak to my coach about that. So
okay, you're telling me that I need to do better. Maybe you should listen. Maybe we'll have an actual conversation next year. Maybe
ride home. Things I could do better.
Yeah, exactly.
But,
So best uphill.
Best uphill. Just so many of them. I think actually today was actually satisfying. Like we had. Probably 50 Ks of just like 1% up, and it just went on for on and on and on. And then you kind of had that kind of pinch to the finish, to the top of the hill. And it was just like, well, we're only going to get there one way, just suck it up, pull your lip up and kind of keep riding kind of thing. So, but yeah, it was really cool. And then, that gets rewarded by a nice gravelly downhill.
Yeah,
and,
so what was your favourite downhill of the whole trip?
Today had to be the best one, I think.
Really?
Actually, no, Quailburn Road yesterday at the back of Omarama. That was just amazing. It was like carpet and just so fast, and the gravel wasn't deep, and we were honking. It was just so much fun. Yeah.
So favourite food over the weekend?
Favourite food. The big old steak last night at the Kurow pub. That was pretty good. Yeah, that was well deserved kind of thing. So yeah, it's like this is going to fuel me for tomorrow. So, and it did a pretty good job. So yeah.
Favourite drink?
Favourite drink? Well, actually, was on those pure fuel gels or whatever they're called. Yeah, and they were pretty good. Yeah, of course. Raspberry and Coke at Ohau, looking out across the mirrored lake, was pretty good too.
I was going to say next one was favourite place to stay. Where was that?
They all had their own bit of uniqueness kind of thing. I think last night was probably the best because the bed was just so comfy and my little legs were tired and it was just like But yeah, no, it's just I think that's the cool thing. Like the rides are exciting every day. Every day is an adventure, but every night's an adventure too. Where are we eating and what are we having and what's for breakfast and who am I rooming with and all those sorts of things. So yeah, just cool to get out and do it. So yeah, bring on the next one.
Go and put your feet up. We'll talk about that training.
Yeah, shall do.
Steve's all the way down from Auckland specifically for this trip. You've run your bike over 300 Ks. How's the backside feeling?
It's feeling okay actually. Yeah. I'm quite pleasantly surprised.
Good stuff.
I'd make it this far.
Well done. So tell us about your background. Tell us about sort of getting on board this trip and why you came.
What a fantastic opportunity to get down here to a place where I probably wouldn't normally come and ride my bike with a bunch of really good people and a supported ride. Yeah. It's awesome.
So we've done some coaching together before, and then also you're sort of a bit of a regular on our Friday morning Zwift session as well.
Yeah, I do the Monday and the Wednesday and the winter and the Friday.
Yes.
Yeah, and sort of got a training course training plan for the Waka a couple of years ago, and that then sort of hooked me into it.
Yeah, and we kind of haven't looked back. We've just kind of like, you've done that, and now you just turn up to the Zwift sessions, share a dad joke or two, and enjoy the banter and keep consistent. It's good.
Yeah, and I think this might have ignited a new passion, gravel riding.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah, once I can get the bike sorted out.
Yeah,
I'll be
you
right.
went through a couple of bikes. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so the first hire bike wasn't so great, so that died at about 94 k's into day one. So good to get a tow the last 6 k's, and then
Didn't think about doing run a bike, dropping the seat?
No. There was a lot of very optimistic people that thought we could fix it on the spot, but that failed, so it was a tow-in. And then managed to get another bike for day 2, which got me going through the rest of the day. So really lucky, actually. Otherwise, it would have been the end of the road for me. And I'm glad it wasn't, because what an epic couple of days.
Well, that was the beauty of being supported, because the guys went back and got your hire bike from Twizel, didn't they?
Yeah.
So nice to sort of go and figure that out, and your second bike held together well. So it was clearly not the rider.
No. Mechanical issues. Yeah, mechanics. Yeah.
Good stuff. So highlight of those last 3 days, is there anything you sort of pin your sort of thoughts about of what you absolutely nailed and was just fantastic?
Oh, look, it's hard to nail down to one thing. Every day had its own special set of views and climbs and scenery. Yeah, just awe-inspiring. I think Ben put it quite well after day one. We're sort of coming back in along the lake there, and he said it doesn't seem real, And that's what pretty much every day was like. You're looking back at the end of the day, trying to take in all the views of the day, and they were just, it was stunning. Yeah, just a epic 3 days, really.
Good stuff. So will you be back? Will you come and join us again?
Absolutely.
Good stuff. Well, you didn't even have to hesitate for that. No, I didn't have to think about that.
No.
Oh, good.
No. It's such a fantastic way to do it. Yeah, I couldn't imagine having to come down, and the logistics of doing it yourself would be a bit of a challenge. So just being able to, drop everything, jump in, and then head home. It's great.
Good job. Yeah. Well done. We'll see you bright and early Monday morning. Tomorrow morning Zwift.
Yeah.
How about a maybe? Or that was actually,
I'll give it a go.
I don't think you might be the only one. I don't think it'll be you and me.
All right, don't look at the stats.
You'll be riding at 50 kilos. No, well done. Good job. Travel safe, and great to be able to actually meet you face to face. That's the other side of it. And to be able to spend a few days riding together, it's awesome.
Yeah, look forward to the next one. And thanks to the whole crew at Team CP. I think you've done an amazing job of putting it together. Yeah, fantastic. Nothing left out.
Good job.
Brilliant. Cheers.